Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. Today's topic is not an easy one for me or you, and I have been through the death of a child myself, so I have more than just a clinical opinion. I have, unfortunately, the real life experience. So we're going to try to help your marriage survive the death of a child. And first thing is I want to offer my deepest heartfelt condolences. I know what you're going through. My own child died as an adult, and the last words, fortunately, that I got to say to him was, I love you, Joey, and he said, I love you, Dad. And that was the last time we spoke. So it was very hard for me. I'm sure it's very hard for you. It was very hard for my wife. I think harder. And it puts a strain on a marriage, and most people don't know why. I could tell you why. The reason why is because your marriage isn't functioning well to begin with. It wasn't firing on all cylinders when you were married, before your child passed away. And so if it were, the death of your child would have been embraced by the two of you, sort of like one arm from each of you wrapped around the spirit of your child. But you're disconnected. And there is no getting around the reality that over time, many people don't fully recover, but it is possible. I fully recovered. It took a long time. It took years, probably close to 10 years to fully recover. It even took me a couple of years before I could function at even a normal level. So I do know what it does to you. And I know that now's not the time for you to give up on life. One of the things that helped me tremendously, and I wish I had known this early on, was I could still communicate with my son. And I have learned that they can hear us from the other side. We can't see them. And it's a different time frame altogether. And we miss them terribly. But we can still reach out to them. We can open our heart to them. One thing you might try is holding each other's hands and looking into each other's eyes and seeing your child there. Our children are a part of us. There's just no getting around it. And the spirit of our child lives on in your spouse as well as in your own heart. Connect. Connect with the love you feel for your child. Your child is there. I know you can feel their presence at times. Instead of, when you feel their presence, instead of feeling depressed that they're not there, feel gladdened. Welcome their presence. Don't let them be the ones who give you sympathy, though. You be the one who lets them know you still love them, you look forward to seeing them. And connect with your spouse. Now's the time for you to learn how to be married. You know, now's not the time for you to give up your marriage. Now's the time to create it the way it should be. You're both very vulnerable. You could use that vulnerability to build on it, because that vulnerability is based on a love. Use it. Make your child happy that you two are connected. And the criticism and the judgment, especially the judgment, if there's any blame that crosses your mind, get rid of that. You need to learn to love. You know, the thing that defines a parental love is its unconditional aspect, right? You love your child unconditionally. And you gave this love to your child without being asked, without being prompted. Yet you want your spouse to prompt your love, to earn it. Well, that's not going to work. Learn from the love you have for your child and apply this unconditional love to your spouse. Love them. Don't be hard on them. Don't criticize them. Don't blame them. Don't feel that they did something wrong or that you did something wrong. That love that you had for your child, that you have for your child, is just a slice of the love that you have within you. You're able to give that love tenfold to your spouse, and it won't diminish the love you have for your child. That's where you have to go now. You know, it just occurred to me as I'm doing this video, you know, these videos are spontaneous. I don't have a script. But when I was giving talks over at Second Saturday, one of my first clients, she and her husband lost their son. He was a troublemaking son, but you know, that doesn't matter. Mine was too. And she didn't want to lose her husband too. And so what we did together, in those days I worked with people individually, was we worked through all the steps that are in, I think it was my first book at the time, Lessons for a Happy Marriage, and we worked through those steps. And she embraced that. She didn't stop loving her child. She's a very religious person, but in a true way. And she won her husband back. He was ready to leave her. And then years later, he came to see me. And he said, I am embarrassed by how I am with my wife. I'm not living up to who she has become. And because he was a man, I pointed out the flaws. He asked me to, I never would have. And he said to me, man, if you weren't so right, I'd want to double to you, but you're right. And he worked on those flaws of his. But I think working on the positive aspect is more important. And what he did was he recognized that love that he had for his son, and he could experience that love, and that's what he started to give to his wife. Because that's what she had started to give to him. And their marriage is very successful. Your child does not want you to end your marriage. I don't want you to end your marriage. You have to turn it around. It takes work, but now is the time. God has chosen this is the time for you to work on your marriage. Don't argue with God. And have that special relationship based on unconditional love. The pain will subside, I promise you. The memory will never subside. And you will find this new love with your spouse that you should have had from the beginning. It starts to grow. And it becomes welcoming for the child that you've lost, and they'll remain with you. And you will soon, if you do this, if you work on your marriage, this is kind of the cool thing. If you work on your marriage now, And I'm not saying never cry or anything like that. God, I cried like crazy. But if you work on your marriage now, you'll start to feel a joy. The real joy that you should have had right from the start. My heart really does open up to you because I know what you're going through. And you could be 2-3 years into this already. It lasts. So you have my prayers. And if you want me to pray for you by name, put it in the box below in the comments, and I will. We all can use that kind of support and that kind of help. And I hope you find that this was useful. Maybe parts of it are. We all have our own way of dealing with everything. We're all unique. But I hope some things clicked for you, and maybe just a little bit of that pain can be set aside. And you have my deepest prayers. So blessings to you, blessings to your spouse, blessings to your family. God bless.